I used to cook for a couple hundred people at a time. The system that I used then is the same exact system I use now for meal planning. I'm gonna break it down in a simple 3-step process that you're gonna be able to use this coming week. About 10 minutes of planning is gonna save you hours for your upcoming week. We used to plan meals for a couple hundred people at a time, managing food inventory of about $500,000 a year, right? We're out at sea, there's a lot of operational risk environments going on at play. What I learned then at scale, we're going to use for your own household of 1 or more, however many family members you got. Now, first step 1 that most people skip over, they don't even think about, is planning your week. What I mean by that is dialing down into your week schedule. So we're going to take it through my own example. Next week, my wife is commuting to work. So that means for Monday morning, breakfast, she'll probably need a grab and go option. Lunch and dinner, she'll probably eat in the office or nearby there. So I don't have to worry about those servings. So it's only 1 serving for lunch, 1 serving for dinner. That right there tells me quite a few things about my menu next week. Another plan we have next week, Wednesday night, we have some family coming over. Wednesday night, I'm gonna write that down as an event going on. That's gonna affect my meal plan coming up. So these different kind of things, and your life is gonna look different. Maybe you have to take your kids to soccer practice Thursday night, or you have a work happy hour, or you're out of town for a long weekend, Friday to Sunday, whatever it may be. It's going to impact the next step in the process, which is actually going through your meal plan. But before we get to that step 2, planning your meal plan, I want you to think through what I like to call your no decision menu. Your no decision menu, they're going to be comprised of meals in 2 categories. You've got your go-to meals. Think of a meal that you can make blindfolded and you can think through half asleep. If you're cooking more at an entry level, totally fine. That could be as simple as cereal milk, granola milk, yogurt parfait kind of thing. If you're a little more intermediate, maybe it's a chicken stew, a tuna sandwich, something like that. Whatever it is, you should be able to rattle off the recipe or what kind of ingredients you need off the top of your head, or just by writing down really quick. It's something that you don't have to go grab a cookbook and figure out how to make exactly. So it could be a PB&J, for example. Your second set of category, it's going to be your experimental meal. That's going to be something that you have to look at a cookbook or a recipe blog or whatever it may be, but it's a little more fun. It's something a little challenging or just exciting to make that you can do on, say, a random Thursday night. You get off at 5 p.m. and you want to hang out with your spouse or your friend or your family, whatever. Have a little fun cooking in the kitchen. So those 2 different categories. So we want 10 meals max spread out. I usually say max 5 meals per category. To start, we're going to say 2 to 3 meals for the go-to, and we're going to call it 1 meal for the experimental. So that's not too many meals to come up with. You do it real quick on, grab your phone, use the Notes app or something, write it down in a journal, your whiteboard, whatever works for you. Write it down somewhere where you can access it really easily. So when it comes time to writing out your meal plan for the week ahead, you can access it just like that. The whole process here is to cut down the amount of decisions you make behind food, to cut down that decision fatigue for the week ahead. That's the whole process with the Meal Planning OS. It's just to reduce the complications around food to make your life easier and smoother. So once you have those meals in place, your notepad or wherever, we're going to go into step 2 more, which is actually figuring out your meal plan. That's going to be plugging in the no decision menu into your actual Monday through Friday. We're not going to worry about Saturday and Sunday. Unless you're a shift worker and you need to, that's fine. But typically we're not going to worry about that Saturday and Sunday because I want you to have some creativity, flexibility. You don't have to be too tight throughout the weekend. Have some fun with it. The meal plan now. We're going to take those meals and assign them different slots. We've got the breakfast, lunch, dinner slot, Monday through Friday. If you're not a breakfast eater, leave out breakfast, simple as that. Make it work to what you need it to. We're going to plug those in to our menu. So for instance, one of mine, we'll call it overnight oatmeal. One of my go-tos almost every week I have. So we're going to have that Monday through Friday. Maybe one of the meals I'll do like an egg burrito or something fun like that from the freezer or whatever. So that's going to be that many servings. So that's going to be 4 days of overnight oatmeal, 1 egg burrito. So I'm going to write that down on my notepad. I'm going to figure out that recipe, calculate whatever overnight oats is times the 8 servings that I need, and then figure out that egg burrito for the 2 servings I need. Now I'm going to make my grocery list out of that. When I make my grocery list, I'm going to assign different categories to my grocery list. Make it very, very easy. So eggs, for instance, under protein or dairy, it's usually in the dairy section, right? For the overnight oatmeal recipe, I'll need some oatmeal. That'll be a pantry item. I'll usually put some berries in it or something fresh like bananas. That'll be in the produce section. I kind of try to write out my grocery list how I shop, because when you get to the grocery store and you have a list of say 25 to 30 items on your grocery list, nothing worse at all. You're gonna be running around the grocery store like a chicken with their head cut off. There's no system in place there. This framework, I call it the grocery list blueprint. It makes it much more manageable when you're in the grocery store. It's gonna cut your time down in the grocery store by half minimum. You should be in the grocery store 30 minutes, 45 minutes tops, no matter what. So we're gonna take that process, we're gonna figure that out. You're gonna plug in your lunches, your dinners, give yourself a few off nights. You know, one night, for instance, you could go into your freezer. You could pull out a freezer meal. Maybe it's something you cooked last Thursday night that you had leftovers, you sealed it up, you dated it, popped it in the freezer for one night to give yourself a night off. Another night, do some planned takeout or delivery food, or take your wife, partner out, have some fun with it, just to give yourself a night or two off from even thinking about food. If your budget doesn't allow that, that's fine. Put more freezer meals in the budget. That's very easy, achievable. Just cook a serving or two extra for a night or two this week. And then you're gonna build up your freezer inventory and you're gonna be solid. That's a real game changer right there. Once you do this, you're gonna have that full meal plan Monday through Friday. You're gonna save a ton of food decisions every week. You're gonna make your life a lot easier. Something to speed this process up, I created a 5-day free meal planning system course that you can sign up to down below, delivered over email. So if you want that, grab that down below. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe to my channel.